Hello, everyone. It has been a good minute since I have been on here, and I'm just glad well, I guess see y'all again, but not really see y'all again. And today, I don't have anything to teach or anything like that. I really just want to come with a well, I'm gonna try to keep it brief, quick video of encouragement for anyone who is just going through a season or going through seasons in your life where you are really trusting God and allowing Him to do a work in you. This morning I was just sitting thinking how, I gave my life back to Christ like 2 or 3 years ago. And I have been just reflecting and thinking, God, even 2 or 3 years ago, where I am now, I would have never thought that this would be what the walk would be like, that this is what faith would turn into, that this is what trusting you would turn into, me completely transforming, evolving, and just being transformed by your love, by your word. I just would have never thought. And so in these last couple of seasons of my life, I have been really allowing God to work in me. Like, it's one thing for us to say, God, I trust you, I love you, I surrender, God, do what you need to do in me. And it's another thing for you to actually allow Him to do it. And I will be honest and say that allowing God to really work in you is not as pretty as people make it seem on the internet, as they vlog, it's not as pretty, it's not as dressed up, it's not even as the reels and the sounds and the TikToks. It's not. There are seasons of real, pure, raw transition and healing that takes place when you really surrender to God. And those are often moments that people don't see, because those are the moments where you have been called completely into God for the work to take place. And let me just say, the way my head is in the clouds with God, that I'm head over heels, falling in love with Him more now than I thought I was, because of what I have been allowing Him to do. And so today, the purpose of this video is really just encouragement for those who are going through, and allowing God to really heal you, allowing God to really do a work in you that is basically pushing you to purpose, and also developing your character and pulling you from that place of survival. Because all of us have experienced a trauma that has caused us to go through life living a certain way, and living a way without God's pure love really moving in us, around us, over us. Like, we've really just been living life surviving. And what I've learned is that, one, that healing can be exhausting. Okay, true healing can be exhausting, but I have learned that within the process of it, it's in the process of healing and true healing with God, that you really come to know Him, and really come to know His character, and really come to cling to Him. Okay. And one of the things that I have, just as I had just been in this space, I have learned that one of the things, as God is graceful and patient with us in the midst of our healing and our transformation, we also have to be accepting and receiving of the grace, and giving it to ourselves, allowing ourselves to have it. Because when it comes to the healing, when it comes to the pure healing and the raw healing that God does, what I've learned is that you cannot rush it. And I have had moments in my healing where I have said, God, I just want to be okay. Like, I just want to be right now. Like, I just want, okay, I know what's wrong and I see that, but now I just okay, let's just fix it. And in my mind, I have said, let's just fix it with the thought of, okay, let this just be over with in the next week. I'm going to be okay. I'm going to have it figured out and I'll be different. But that has not been the case. And even so, along with that, I have learned that you can't rush your healing, because there are things, there's like God in his mind, God in his wisdom, God in his strategy, God in just his intentionalness, just has a way of unfolding, unveiling, revealing, and pulling things out one by one. Because sometimes I'll even admit that even in this, there have been times where I just be like, okay, like, Lord, let's just get it all done with, get it all over with. But it has been almost like a progressive thing. Like, we deal with one thing and then I'm okay, and then we deal with something else, and it's like just been kind of like I can just tell like little threads are being pulled, and then as they're being pulled and dealt with, there are also chains that are coming off. Mindsets, I'm changing my mind, and all these things, and it's just like like stepping stones to it. I'm learning that you really have to be patient as well with the process, and be patient with God's process. That your healing is not going to happen overnight, but that also God does not expect for you to be to suddenly come into the knowledge of everything that's wrong and then fix it by tomorrow, because you don't really learn to trust him that way. You don't really heal that way. You don't really get your healing that way. It is a process, because it took years for you to get to this point. And I know that God has the power. God really does have the power to fix it overnight. He does. But one thing about God is that when it does come to us, when it comes to our souls, and the work that he does up on our souls, is that he takes his time, because he is thorough. God is a thorough God, and he will leave no stone, nothing gonna be left unturned, undealt with when it comes to him really healing you, preparing you to walk out purpose, and preparing you to go out and to do exactly what he called you to do, and to do it in the manner that he created you to do it. He is thorough, okay? And even the Bible tells us his adamancy. It tells us how faithful and how committed he is to what he's doing in us, that he who has begun a good work in you shall complete it, shall perfect it until the day of Christ Jesus. So every day God is adamant. He's committed to, working out in you what needs to be worked out. And we have to be patient with that. We have to learn to rest and to sit back and sometimes just enjoy the healing ride. It sounds weird to say, because just like, as you're going through it, you have all these feelings. It's so, when I say it's so raw, even to meet yourself, to meet your soul, to meet the things in you that you have suppressed, the things in you that you have put away, the things in you that have become, are ugly, that you have put out of your sight, and that you try to ignore, that you try to, like the way that God has, even the situation that we go through, that he allows us to go through, that really expose these things. And as they expose them, his expectation is for us to bring them to him, and he begins just so gently to help us to work them out, to understand them, and then to use his word to change our mind, to bring down the strongholds, to bring down every proud thought, everything that exalts itself. Like he really takes his time with healing us. And so my encouragement today, like I said, the purpose of this video is just to encourage somebody who's in that place, not to rush it. Don't rush the healing season. Don't rush the seasons even where healing is happening. Don't rush through it, and don't think that you have to heal by tomorrow, or heal by next week, or heal by the 15th of next month. Don't think that you have to, and don't rush God's process as far as what he's going to heal, or what he allows to be exposed and to come up to heal. Because one thing, like I said, with God's intentionality and his strategy, is that the way that he unravels things is that one thing leads to the next, and it helps you to better understand, rather than to pull out everything and have you all confused, and have you all over the place, and have you overwhelmed, and have you overwhelmed and not wanting even to engage in it. God does things in such a way that one thing at a time, and one thing will reveal the next thing and the next thing and the next thing, and it will give you an understanding, and it will help it to be able to stick. That's what I'm finding, is that God's method of doing things has helped the healing be able to stick, and it has helped me even in the midst of the healing being able to stick. Really, what I mean is that it's helped me be able to stick to Him, to cling to Him, so that the healing is real, so that it's not none of this new age, so that it's not none of this soul working and shadow working and whatever it is that they calling it this day. So it's not none of this temporary fix. So it's not none of this I'm going to therapy and that's it. No, there's some actual real work that God is doing, desires to do, will do, if you really let Him, and if you let Him do it His way. Let God heal you His way, because He is the healer. Okay, if you want to see that God is a healer, is the healer, let God heal you His way. Be patient with it. Receive His grace that He has given to you, and be patient with yourself as He is with you, and be patient with God as He is with you, and enjoy the healing. Enjoy the healing. My prayer is that those who are in that place right now, that you come out on the other side really, really, really in love with God, really in another place of in another mindset, in another place. Even I would speak even to your worship, that your worship is even different, that the way you walk is even different, that the way you now walk in purpose is even different, that all of these things are affected just by His love. Truly experiencing His love as your healing.